Welcome to the Natural Podcast, where we explore the depths of holistic health, uncovering the interconnectedness of our emotions, mind, body, and spirit. This podcast is dedicated to individuals who are on a quest to uncover their truth, understanding their genetic and spiritual DNA, and learning how to harness this knowledge to achieve optimal health. But this isn't just another health podcast. The Natural Podcast is here to ignite a spark of hope within you, reminding you of your innate potential for greatness. You are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression. Are you ready to embark on a transformational journey to achieve optimal health? Welcome to the Natural Podcast. We are here today to talk about Scorpio season. Absolutely love my little Scorpios. They're amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology side of it, and I'm going to talk about the medical astrology part of a Scorpio and potentially what can come up health-wise in Scorpio season. So Scorpio is the 8th sign of the astrology wheel, of the astrology, whatever you want to call it. It is ruled by Pluto. It is a water sign, and it's a fixed water sign. They are very fixed. they're very interesting individuals, right? Love them. Don't get me wrong. Love them, but very interesting individuals. They are absolutely deep thinkers. A little bit of personality about a Scorpio is they're deep thinkers. Anything you think about is deep for them. It's just kind of like deep. Scorpio, deep. It's transformational. They transform. Things inside of them transform. So you can think about Scorpio season, what that might mean for your health is transformation. So whatever may have been happening in your health in the last year since last Scorpio season, it's time to transform that. What is that going to look like? Kind of like reflecting in what was your health 12 months ago, and it's like, what can transform now? Because with transformation, Scorpio is linked to death, right? Destruction. But that's exciting because wherever there's death and destruction, there is transformation. There is an exchange of energies because something has died, so therefore something is growing and something is evolving. So kind of see it all as a bad thing, but it's actually not. It's actually amazing that something is able to be destroyed and then be brought up and transformed, right? Scorpios also come with power. There's a lot of power that comes with Scorpio. Evolution, transformation. A lot of the times it's via relationships. They transform through relationships, and if that's relationships with a partner, relationships with their family, their friends, co-workers, whatever that relationship is, they are there to transform through it. They like to hold on to things because they're a fixed water sign, and what that means is they like to hold on to emotions and hold on to them. And usually they say about Scorpios is they will not forget. Whatever you've done to a Scorpio, good luck, mate. They will not forget. Look, it may be different for everyone else. This is just kind of like stereotypical. There might be different placements. Just because Scorpio is a sun sign doesn't mean that you are this and so forth. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a vibe about Scorpio season so we can see how it's going to impact our health. Usually they are resistant to change. It's very hard for a Scorpio to change because of this fixed energy, water energy, which is emotions. It's kind of like holding on to these emotions, and it's like, I know there needs to be death of these emotions, but it's so hard for me to transform it because I need to let go, and therefore they create this resistance within themselves because of pain and sorrow to transform and change. But once they let go of that, and this is also key for health, we're going to be talking about letting go. Once they let go of it, it's like boom, a whole new world, a world of death and destruction and transformation. And then they're like, wow, my life is completely changed. But the thing about Scorpios is they keep going through that. It's not once, it's not twice, it's literally their life. And we get the joy about going through this every year, every Scorpio season. We get given the opportunity to die and evolve and transform. How amazing is that? Now let's talk about it from a point of view of medical astrology. So what Scorpio rules is functions necessary for survival of species. So we're talking about reproduction. We're talking about genes and your genetic coding, DNA, hormones, the ovaries, the testicles, and these are the things that are ruled by Scorpio season. Also purification systems. So we're talking about bowels, sweat, the bladder. Also things that we eliminate: spit, sweat, sperm, discharge. It also rules the genital areas for both men and women, including the anus, rectum, and colon. So you can see it rules a lot of things, very interesting and so-called maybe taboo things, which is what Scorpio is known for, these taboo things. And that's what is ruled in the medical astrology by Scorpio. So what are these individuals most prone to, or what shall we be most prone to during Scorpio season is infections with the bladder, reproductive organs, and infections any type. It's so interesting when we talk about Scorpio season. We talk about Scorpios are known to be sexual and deep and mysterious, and then it's rules our genitals. So and infections. The first thing that I think about Scorpio season is STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. So if you are currently have caught an STD and it's in Scorpio season, it's crazy how these things happen during Scorpio season, and something to be careful of. It's kind of like, all right, well, maybe it's time for me to do a test, do a check. Maybe I'm about to get into a new relationship and I'm going to do an STD check for myself and for my potential partner, or just run a test, because these are the things that I actually have come up with clients. Scorpio season comes out and all of a sudden all of these STDs are coming out, infections and so forth. The other thing also that's come up is poor eliminations of toxins. So holding on to toxins, we need to eliminate them. So absolutely amazing time to do a detox. Anyway, reproductive issues. So periods may be missed, sperm may not be producing as well, the count might be lower, hormonal issues might be coming up. The other thing is this is so known for Scorpios, is constipation, because they hold on to emotions, they hold on to things they don't want to release. So when you think about medically, it's kind of like when you hold on to things, you're holding on to shit, literally. You're holding on to the toxins, you're holding on to shit, which is what Scorpios do. And it's like, it's time to let it go. So if you, for some reason, have absolutely amazing bowel habits and all of a sudden you're like, I'm constipated, well, hello, Scorpio season. This is what we're here for, is holding on to things. The other thing is also hemorrhoids and boils. Individuals get these, and this is what Scorpio, when the sun is shining on us during Scorpio season, we are more likely to get boils, hemorrhoids, constipated, hormonal issues, reproductive issues, poor elimination, infections, bladder infections, other infections, and things like that might come up during Scorpio season for individuals. And it's like, okay, cool, well, what can we do about this? What can we do during Scorpio season to help not be prone to these things? Just because I say Scorpio season medical astrology comes with these doesn't mean that you're going to get it, right? We're just more prone to. So if we are run down, we're more likely to get it. However, if we have optimal health, we're going to skip this in Scorpio season, right? It's all about how we hold our optimal health at any given time, so we are not prone to these things that may be occurring with the stars, with everything that's happening above, so below. We will not be expressing these because our health is at an optimal level, and therefore we're not going to get issues coming up. So what is a good thing for Scorpio season to do is sweat. Sweat, baby, sweat. Sweat, 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 right? Sweat, because we want to remove those toxins, because Scorpio is also in charge of elimination, bodily fluids. Absolutely amazing time to sweat it out. Go for a run, exercise, jump on a trampoline, do some sports, go into a sauna, right? If you haven't thought about being in a sauna, well, now's your time to get into a sauna. Scorpio season, absolutely amazing time to get back into the sauna and sweat it out. Get back into the gym, back into running, back into a sport that you will sweat. The other thing is also body scrubbing. So eliminating, we're talking about eliminating toxins. So let's do some lymphatic massaging and some body brushing before we get into a shower to move those toxins, move things around. And this is where jumping on a trampoline is absolutely amazing because it gets the lymphatic system moving, gets the toxins moving around, and it's like boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to do a bit of sweating, but also I'm going to move my lymphatic system, which is going to help eliminate. Sauna, amazing. The other thing that's also beneficial is fasting. Is beneficial during this season because it's kind of like it's going to assist us to clean up our cells, because we know when we fast, we create more apoptosis where the cells are able to die, clean up, apophagy, and so forth, where we can just clean up the system and give it a bit of time and space to just be kind of free and be able to remove whatever waste there is and not add more waste in. And then also holding on to emotional issues can cause physical pain. And this is what Scorpios are really good at. That's one thing that they're really good at, is holding on to emotions. So if you've been holding on to some type of emotions the last 12 months, maybe now is the time to reflect and go, maybe it's time for me to release these toxic emotions out of my body. Yes, I might do a sauna. Yes, I might jump on a trampoline physically, but what can I do emotionally to remove these toxic emotional patterns or behaviors that I've been holding on to, and therefore I'm able to release them. Remember, Scorpios like to hold on to things, which means gives them constipation. How can I release these emotional issues? And what can I do for it to assist me to be free from these, right? So in the last 12 months, last time since we were in Scorpio season, what have you done, or what type of emotions have you accumulated? That's a really good reflection. It's like, what's happened in the last 12 months of all the emotions that have accumulated that now can die and transform and evolve into something absolutely amazing. So absolutely key for Scorpios to move it, because by not moving, you're holding on to toxins, right? So regular movement is so necessary and absolutely key. Sweating and exercise is needed. I know I keep mentioning it for every season, but this one, you need to move those toxins. You need to eliminate, you need to let it out. And when the key for Scorpios is, it's interesting when they're going through a health issue or anything, they don't like to be surrounded with people. They like to exclude themselves. So think about when you're going through Scorpio season, you may be like, why all of a sudden do I feel like excluding myself from everyone to deal with stuff? Well, because Scorpio season comes in that when we're out of balance, we like a quite secluded environment to heal. So this might be a good time if you've been thinking about secluding yourself for a day to a few hours, a week even, whatever that looks like for you, to be able to deal with your toxins. If that is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual toxins, whatever that is, it's time to let it go during Scorpio season. We need to let go of that shit. Literally. So it's a great time to, I'm not saying escape, I'm saying to do a productive escape. So quiet environment with seclusion, absolutely necessary. So you know how we spoke about last season is to be involved with people, do things with people. Well, this one's asking us to sit down within ourselves and deal with our shit, literally, and that's going to assist us to be healthier. So now that I've spoke a little bit about Scorpio season and what may come up for Scorpios, let's look into some absolutely amazing research studies. I'm just going to get this one up here, so I get it up here for us. I thought I would make a research study that's linked to Scorpio season, and we are going to look at a study called Hemorrhoids and Varicose Veins, a review of treatment options, which was done in 2001, April, in the Alternative Medicine Review journal. Amazing. So it provides an overview of various treatment approaches for hemorrhoids and varicose veins with a focus on alternative and complementary therapies. The review addresses the underlying cause of both conditions, which involved weakened vein walls, impaired venous circulation, and it discusses both conventional and alternative treatments. And the reason why I wanted to talk about hemorrhoids especially is because that's what comes up for Scorpios, right? They hold on to their shit and then they get constipated, and hemorrhoids may be caused, and it just causes a lot of issues. And hemorrhoids is a huge issue for Scorpios, and it may be a huge issue for you during Scorpio season. So I was like, why not look at what can be done? So the conventional therapies, so this study outlines conventional treatments, which include surgery. A lot of individuals, I know a few individuals actually that have had to have surgery for their hemorrhoids. I mean, it's not the most comfortable thing to have surgery on. I mean, no surgery is comfortable at all. But hemorrhoids, that's definitely not something that's like, oh yes, I would love to have a hemorrhoid surgery. Not that you want any surgery, but anyway, there's also medication to use for relief. There's also creams people use and so forth. But it's like, all right, well, what can be done as alternative approaches? What if you have hemorrhoids and you're like, I don't want surgery? Is there anything that can be done? So they've actually come up with a few things. I'm excited to share these with you. Number one is bioflavonoids. I love bioflavonoids. They can help reduce inflammation and strengthen the vein wall. I mean, who would have thought something simple as bioflavonoids is going to strengthen the vein walls, but also reduce inflammation? I love it. Now we're going to go into herbs. I love these herbs, and I have seen such amazing improvements. I've made herbal mixtures for my clients with these two herbs actually that I want to mention. And they're like, I think after 2 weeks, they were like, Mihaela, my hemorrhoids are gone. My experience going to the toilet is fantastic. I'm so thankful. And these are the two herbs that I used that I'm going to mention. And it just blew their mind away, because I actually had someone booked in for surgery. They were booked in for surgery in, I think it was like 2 weeks time. I said, let's try and avoid it, because they weren't too keen. I mean, who would be keen? And we put them on these herbs. They didn't need surgery. They still haven't had hemorrhoid surgery. The hemorrhoids are under control thanks to these two herbs. Let's talk about them. Number one is horse chestnut. Oh my gosh, how much do I love horse chestnut for hemorrhoids? They've been shown to improve venous circulation and also reduce symptoms of varicose veins, because varicose veins and hemorrhoids are similar, have similar origin. So horse chestnut is amazing. I love it. Next one is butcher's broom. Love butcher's broom. It's known to reduce the swelling, but also improve blood in the veins, which essentially then helps the hemorrhoids. Horse chestnut and butcher's broom in this study has been proven to assist. The other thing is fiber. So to ease bowel movement and reduce the strain that contributes to hemorrhoids, it's like, where is your fiber at? How much fiber are you having? Most Australians are like having like 10 grams of fiber a day, which is like nothing, absolutely nothing. It needs to be like times 5 that, times 4 that, depending on an individual and what they're going through. But the fiber is so important. We need to increase our fiber for our overall health, but especially if you have hemorrhoids. And in addition to that, also lots of water. It hasn't been put into this study, but I'm just adding it on there. But yes, fiber, absolutely amazing. We're talking about vegetables. I know it's talking about supplementation. You can take it in supplement form, but where are your vegetables at? Are you having enough vegetables? The first thing someone says, I have hemorrhoids, I'm like, all right, what are you eating? How many vegetables, how many cups of vegetables a day are you having? The other thing that this study spoke about is topical treatments, so external. They spoke about aloe vera and other soothing agents for symptom relief in hemorrhoids, which is quite interesting. So, nature has the answers for these Scorpio issues, like hemorrhoids. We have bioflavonoids, we've got horse chestnut, butcher's broom, fiber, aloe vera, absolutely amazing, talking about herbs and things like that. But then also we can look at lifestyle. The study highlights the importance of lifestyle modifications, such as maintaining a high fiber diet, increasing water intake, so it does talk about water intake, regular exercise and weight management as key factors of preventing but also managing hemorrhoids. So it's so simple. It's like so many things that you can do to reduce those hemorrhoids or deal with them. It's like, yep, what's my water intake? Yep, what's my fiber intake? Yep, am I exercising? What's my weight like? And then we can go into the herbs and so forth to try and reduce the sympathetic relief with some topical treatments like aloe vera. But there are so many things that you can do to avoid that surgery, that operation. You don't need it because it puts you out of action for a while, and it's kind of sad. I mean, look, if you've had hemorrhoid surgery before, you know what I'm talking about. It's not the most comfortable. The whole day is just you're laying there getting the surgery done. But then it's not just that. It's not just the operation. It's the aftercare that can be so painful for some individuals. And you need assistance because you've just had major surgery. So if you can avoid that by literally increasing your fiber, increasing your water, going for a run, why not? Or taking these beautiful herbs in. So essentially, this study suggests that a combination of alternative treatments, dietary adjustments, lifestyle changes can be effective in managing hemorrhoids and varicose vein in this sense. So it can be used standalone or in conjunction with conventional medicine, depending on your case. And this is where you need to talk to your healthcare professional. But it encourages holistic approach to treatment, focusing on improving venous circulation, reducing inflammation, but also strengthening the vein walls to address the root cause of these conditions. Because those three things is what causes hemorrhoids: venous circulation, low venous circulation, inflammation, high inflammation, but also loosening of the vein walls. So if we can address that with the things that this study has mentioned, you've got a chance of not having hemorrhoids. And yes, Scorpio season might just be a little bit better for you. And if you are a Scorpio and you do suffer from hemorrhoids, this is what you can do. Wow, thank you so much for joining us on Natural Podcast. If you have any topic ideas that you want to know about and you're like, oh, Mihaela, I really want to know about IBS. Mihaela, I really want to know about, arthritis. I really want to know about pimples. Whatever it is, shoot me a message and I will try and get back to you as much as I can and hopefully include it on one of the podcast episodes to give everyone the opportunity to listen to it and learn from it. That would be absolutely amazing. So feel free to contact me on Instagram, shoot me a DM, and I will try and include it on a podcast episode. And then not only will you get the answer for what you've been looking for, but everyone else can get that too. Thank you so much for joining us on Natural Podcast, and remember that you are pure love, capable of living life to its fullest expression.
Content and information provided here is the opinion of Mihaela and is for information purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. It is not intended to provide medical advice or take the place of medical advice or any current treatment you're undertaking. Consult your own medical professionals for any medical issues that you may be having. This entire disclaimer also applies to any guests or contributors to the Natural Health Podcast. It is advised that you consult your doctor or healthcare professional in relation to any health concerns you may be having. Mihaela does not take responsibility for any health consequences which occur from a person listening, viewing, or reading this content. And no circumstances shall the Natural Podcast, Mihaela, any guests or contributors to the Natural Podcast, or any employees, associates, or affiliates of Mihaela be responsible for damages arising from the information provided on the Natural Podcast. By listening to this podcast, you agree not to use this podcast as medical advice to treat any medical conditions in either yourself or others. Please note, if you're taking prescription, do not stop your medication or start a new protocol, including but not limited to supplements, diet, lifestyle changes without consulting a doctor or healthcare professional. If you or any person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical advice. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have read or heard on the Natural Podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. Neither Mihaela nor the publisher of this content takes responsibility for the possible health consequences of any person or persons reading or listening or following the information in the educational content.